A society to have order and to protect its citizens must have rules. Rules or laws are created and agencies are formed to enforce the rules. In the United States, you are innocent until proven guilty. Our judicial system, our courts, have the task of determining guilt. When guilt is found, the courts mete out the consequences. If we follow the rules of our society, we may never have to face the bar of justice inside a criminal courtroom. Join us now as we see an actual Lake County court in session.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Judge Miller. Could all of you, including visitors, please raise your right hands? Do each of you swear or affirm to tell raise your right hands, please. Raise your right hand, please. Raise your other right hand. Thank you. Do each of you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, and this you do under the pains and penalty of perjury? Okay, you can put your hands down. Each of you has a right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're under 18. I need to know if you're not a citizen of the United States. If you're not a citizen, pleading today could affect your immigration status. When you get to the microphone, I need to know if you're on probation or parole. If you're on probation or parole and you plead today, it could affect your probation or parole status. If you plead today, you're giving up your right to have a trial and to have an attorney represent you at that trial. If I sentence you on a criminal case today, you have to go to room 105 and either pay the mandatory costs or sign up for the payment plan. Those mandatory costs are in addition to anything we might do here. And the least the mandatory costs can be is $273. If you have a battery, it goes at least $700. Maria Anto Jimenez Hernandez. Ms. Jimenez Hernandez, you're charged with driving while license suspended. Your license was suspended for not paying a ticket out of not paying 3 tickets out of Miami. One you pay, and there's one you paid but didn't reinstate on, and your insurance was canceled. Do you have a valid driver's license now?
No, ma'am, but I have proof that I've paid those tickets.
So why haven't you gone to get a license?
Because I was told to show up here. He said, well, I paid the tickets completion yesterday, though.
Okay.
I'm on unemployment.
So when will you get your license?
As soon as you allow me to walk out the door and get some monies for it, because I understand I owe $150 for the insurance lapse that caused that suspension.
So if we put this off a month, you can come in here with a valid driver's license.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Miss Lisa, a month?
7/10.
And it's being
7/10.
postponed, why?
I'm talking, so hold on just a
I
moment.
apologize.
7/10/13, 8 a.m. Defendant. Is this one you would change to a civil or not? I don't think there was a prior. I don't see a prior to Willis.
Okay.
Yes? Okay, Miss Angie, could you write it up that if she gets her driver's license, she can take care of it at the traffic window? If you get 3 driving while license suspended within a 5-year period, Tallahassee takes your license for 5 years. If you get all this cleared up before next month, just take the proof to the traffic window. We'll change it from a criminal charge to a civil charge and give you 6 more months to pay.
What am I proving again? I'm sorry. I paid the tickets, right?
If you come in with a valid Florida driver's license,
Yes, ma'am.
you take the proof to the traffic window. If you take that proof to the traffic window, we'll change this from a criminal charge for which you can go to jail for 2 months to a civil charge, which is just a fine.
I also had some other
I'll
tickets.
get there in just a moment. Do we have a deal on this one?
I'm understanding, yes.
Okay. Then you have a speeding ticket.
Yes, ma'am.
Your speeding ticket is for $131. The officer reduced it to the cheapest ticket we have. You have a prior speeding ticket, so I won't help you out on that one at all. Do you want to go to school to get the points off?
Yes.
All right, 60 more days to pay sign up for school are set for hearing. And today is 6/5/15. Okey dokey. All right, she needs, no, she doesn't need to be printed because we may change it to a civil if she fixes it. All right, next we need a Shauna DeHart, please. Ms. DeHart, you are charged with driving while license suspended.
Yeah,
This is for DUI, this is jail time. Do you have your valid license now?
Yeah, I do.
Show us.
The DUI was in Wisconsin in 20...
Doesn't matter. You're still suspended in Florida for that DUI, and you're not allowed to, when did you get that?
I just got it 2 days ago.
That's okay. I see that you.
But I also, I received the notice of it on the 21st, and I got the fine on the 18th. I didn't even know that I was suspended because it was a miscommunication between Wisconsin and Florida, because I took the class and got everything fixed in Wisconsin back in 2011.
When did you get your driver's license?
Here in Florida, March 29th.
So first you got an ID on May 20th.
No, I got the ID because I got into a car accident. That's kind of how this all came
Okay,
about.
when did you get your driver's license?
Just a few days ago.
Not March, then May. Okay, I must have misunderstood. You got,
No, my initial, I just moved here.
okay, when did you get that driver's license?
This driver's license 2 days ago.
Okay.
The very first Florida driver's license I got was in March.
I just want that one. So when you were stopped on this case for driving on May 18th, you were still suspended for the DUI.
Not supposed to be. I got into a car accident is what happened. And when I woke up from the car accident, the officer gave me this fine and said, your license is suspended. I said, I just got my license March 29th here in Florida. How could it be suspended if they just gave it to me a month and a half ago? And he said, I think there's a problem. So I went to the DMV and they said that in Wisconsin, when Wisconsin sent my information over to Florida, they didn't send proof that I already took the class and I already paid the fines, and my DUI thing is already done and completely over with in 2010. So I got all the proof.
Let me have your driver's license.
Okay, and then I got the
Angie,
proof.
could you compare the apples to apples and see if you think this is, maybe we should just get a new printout and see if this was done in error. They gave her the driver's, this one she just got.
Yeah, I got, I went to Wisconsin and, sorry.
March 29th, she got one. Then they suspended her. Then this suspension showed up. She's got this suspension 9/8/10. So even though they gave her one March 29th, it showed a suspension. So she went back and got another one last week, a few days ago. All right, could you look that over? Could you have a seat on the front row, please? And could I talk to Jason Maple, please? Mr. Jason Maple, you're charged with loitering and resisting and obstructing. Ms. Papula, what's the state's recommendation on Mr. Maple?
Yes, Your Honor. For Mr. Maple, it's an adjudication of guilt for both counts. $200 fine per count, and on count 2, the resisting, an additional 25 hours of community service and 6 months probation with early termination concurrent, and $50 cost of prosecution.
Okay, Mr. Maple, are you going to take the state's recommendation, or are you going to say not guilty and talk to an attorney? You want to hear it again?
Repeat it, Your Honor?
He hasn't decided whether he wants you to repeat it.
Oh,
Oh, you can repeat it?
Okay.
I just want to hear it again, better.
you'd be adjudicated guilty of both counts. It's 6 months probation with early termination, meaning you can get off as soon as you pay a $200 fine per count, so that'll be $400, and then do 25 hours of community service.
Can I know like what's the condition of probation? Like what's all the condition of probation? Like what I got to do?
Conditions of probation are,
I've been through that before.
You'd be adjudicated guilty. It's 6 months probation. You can get off as soon as you pay $200 per count, so that's $400 total, and do 25 hours of community service.
Okay.
You want that? Okay.
Yes?
Good, yes, ma'am.
Okay. This is Mr. Maple's yellow sticky. Dale Mack.
Your Honor, the state will announce no information for Mr. Mack.
On which case?
Oh. Sorry.
On the new battery.
Yes, Your Honor.
Well, you just saved him from going to jail because he's on probation and this new charge violated his probation. So he's present and the state's announcing no information on the new case, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
So now he is not being violated.
Probation, this is Chris.
Hi, I have Dale Mack here in the courtroom, and I have a warrant for his arrest for violating his probation.
Yes, ma'am.
But the state has announced no information on the charge which we would use to violate him.
Okay,
So I'm going to mark through the warrant.
perfect. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, Mr. Mack, the new charge is being dropped, and so you're still on probation on the old charge.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, Your Honor.
Okey-dokey. Probation's out in the little room. Maybe you could go today and save yourself a trip later in the month.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, but there is still a no contact order until we can get the paperwork through, so,
That's a little odd.
well, until it gets processed, we don't.
How will he know when it's processed?
If she's announcing an A&I in open court, it closes our case.
Yeah, our file
immediately.
gets closed immediately, so,
That'll work.
okay. So as far as I'm concerned, they can have contact if this is the only thing that was keeping them from having.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, wait for your paperwork. Ms. Hart? So today's Willis goes away because they removed it. Okay, apparently Ms. Hart was exactly correct. We sent for a new printout and the reasons for the suspension are gone.
Okay.
So will the state announce no information?
Yes, Your Honor.
You want a copy of the new printout?
Yes, please. if
Could you
possible.
give the state a copy of the new printout so they can have a paper trail? And you're present and the state announces no information. Okay, just wait for your paperwork. Good job. And don't leave without your license.
Yes.
So make sure she gets her license and her paperwork. Linda Black, you're charged with an assault and a disorderly intoxication. You have a $400 cash bond. If you plead today, that would be applied to your fines or mandatory costs. Ms. Papula, what's your recommendation on Ms. Black?
Yes, sorry, Your Honor. We didn't have a chance to get in contact with the victim, so we don't have an offer.
Who is Kevin Castile? Ms. Black, who is Kevin Castile?
I don't know, the restaurant owner?
Okay, he's the
I think
alleged,
He's the owner of or the director of the restaurant?
okay, so he's the alleged victim.
No, he's not the alleged victim. The alleged victim was a guy sitting at the bar.
Kevin Castile is the alleged victim. Okay.
I'm
Who
not,
are you?
I was there also, ma'am. I'm the,
he's my witness.
Oh, okay, well, you're not the victim.
no, I'm not the victim, but I can explain what happened.
This is not the trial. This is arraignment where I tell you what your charges are, and if you want to plead to it, you can. On May 18th, Lady Lake responded to Longhorn in reference to an intoxicated female disrupting the business. Upon arrival, I observed the defendant, Linda Black, yelling in the parking lot at the managers of the business. The manager advised that the defendant was yelling obscenities and threatening guests. The manager also advised the defendant had consumed 3 alcoholic beverages while at the business and stated that she had cursed at one of the employees. He told her he was not serving her, when he told her he was not serving her any more alcoholic beverages. The defendant became irate, yelled at him, continued to yell obscenities, and disrupted the normal activities of the patrons. The defendant began to walk directly toward the victim, yelling obscenities, threatening to kick his ass. The employees had to hold her back as she kept trying to go after him. The defendant created a well-founded fear for the victim's safety. And that sounds like a perfectly good charge. If you want to enter a plea today, it would involve alcohol counseling, anger counseling, and a fine. Do you wish to enter a no contest plea today, or do you want to say not guilty and fight this charge?
Not guilty and fight it.
Okay? You can be sentenced up to 120 days on these charges. And I assume you're going to get an attorney?
I need a public offender because I'm on Social Security disability.
You're on Social Security disability and spending your money on alcohol.
No, actually, I went out to dinner with Louis Destino, and we have 2 drinks, and we have the receipt for it. So I can pull the videotape from the thing that the guy lied and gave the wrong, he lied.
Okay, Ms. Black, you've been charged with assault, and there are plenty of witnesses. You apparently say you have a witness. The police were witnesses also to how you were acting.
They weren't in the facility, though.
And you weren't charged in the facility. You were charged outside the facility in the parking lot, what the officer saw. That's what I just read. All right, we're entering a not guilty on your behalf. I'll appoint the public defender. There'll be a $250 minimum charge for the public defender's office, and you'll need to make an appointment. Zachary Vanderark, please.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Vanderark. They spelled my name wrong on my ticket and in the Lake County Jail.
How is your name spelled?
Zachkery, Vandemark.
Okay, we got it right on this court sheet. All right, you're charged with driving while license suspended. Your license is suspended for not paying a ticket in Marion and not paying 2 in Citrus County. You had a driving while license suspended December 18th, 2011, because you were suspended out of Marion County. This is your second time getting caught driving on a license on the same suspension. Ms. Papula?
Your Honor, we were asking 5 days Lake County Jail.
Which is normal, and so I didn't know why you didn't ask it on the other one.
That's the only offer, Your Honor, or is there any other?
The only reason I would consider offering something else is because a person earlier with the same charge didn't have jail.
Your Honor, yes, earlier I did miss that person's other duellists on their driving record, so if
we
you
can-
want.
Okay, go ahead.
I was going to say, in the interest of fairness, if you want me to do the same thing for him, then that's fine.
Why haven't you fixed your driver's license?
Well, ma'am, I didn't know it was suspended, and then whenever I did know, I got on probation for it.
Give me a
No, I didn't know a long time ago. This time I did.
Yes.
I fixed my sister's truck. May 21st was her birthday. May 22nd, I got paid, and I went to go get her a birthday card. It was literally a couple hundred feet, and I got in an accident. That's how I got the driving on suspended. I know I shouldn't have been driving, and I was wrong for it. But
And there was a crash.
yeah, some lady hit me. That's how I got the ticket. Went like less than a quarter of a mile, and she ran into me, and that's how it all happened.
Well, if you weren't on the road, it wouldn't have happened. All right, Ms. Papula, you're saying in the interest of fairness, you're willing to do a non-jail recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are you recommending?
6 months probation, early termination with a $200 fine, $50 cost of prosecution.
All right, I'm sure you're going to take that since it's a non-jail offer. You get 3 in a 5-year period. and Tallahassee will take your license for 5 years.
So, Your Honor, as soon as I pay off the probation, I can get off it, or?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
You need to be printed. Here's your print sheet. Thank you. Carlton Lacy. Miss Black, you're to have no contact with the victim. Don't call, don't write, don't go back there. No contact with the victim. Got it? I beg your pardon? Your manners leave something to be desired. Okay. Next, we have Carlton Lacy to the microphone. Are you Mr. Lacy?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, you have good manners. Mr. Lacy, this is paraphernalia and marijuana. Ms. Papula, what's your recommendation?
It would be an adjudication of guilt, 12 months probation with early termination. Upon payment of a $200 fine per count, he'd have to obtain a drug evaluation and complete all recommended treatment, have 4 clean screens at least 30 days apart. His driver's license will be revoked for 2 years if he doesn't complete the treatment, and $50 cost of prosecution.
Do we have a deal, Mr. Lacy?
No, ma'am.
What?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you're going to say not guilty.
Not guilty.
Okay, here's the probable cause affidavit. It's rather long. On May 20th, I conducted a security check of the apartments. While doing so, I observed a silver car parked in the handicap parking place. The vehicle appeared to be running and rear lights were illuminated. At first glance, the vehicle appeared to be unattended. However, closer look revealed 2 occupants in the front seats and the child in the rear seat. The 2 occupants in the front seats had their seats leaning back. Exiting my marked vehicle, I made contact with them. I requested their identification. Did he give you a ticket for parking in a handicap place?
I wasn't driving.
Did he give the driver a ticket for parking in a handicap place?
I have no idea.
Both occupants appeared nervous. From where I was standing, I observed several loose pieces of green leafy substance on the front passenger, on his pants leg. So he saw marijuana on your pants leg. I informed Mr. Lacy that I was going to secure the items. So this is marijuana, and then they search you. All right, they found wrapping papers and some loose marijuana. All right, so you're entering a not guilty plea. Are you able to afford a private attorney, or do you need the public defender?
Public defender.
How much do you make a week?
I'm unemployed.
Why's that?
Can't find any jobs right now.
Why's that?
Can't find a job right now.
Why can't you find a job? How far did you get in school?
Huh?
Huh?
Grade
I take
11.
it back when I said
11.
about your good manners. You got to 11th. Why haven't you gotten your GED?
Oh, I have no idea.
Well, you need to get your GED so you have more job options. While you're out of work is a perfect time to go do that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I will appoint the public defender. There'll be a $250 minimum charge for their services. If you're found guilty of both, it could be up to 2 years in jail. All right, you'll need to make an appointment with the public defender. Justin Weeks, please.
Your Honor, may I be excused?
Yes. Mr. Weeks, you're charged with driving while license suspended. You're actually a week early.
Oh, am I? It says the date on my
It
ticket.
does say the 5th.
She had other cases with Judge Baxley, that's why it was rescheduled.
Oh, because you had cases with Judge Baxley, we moved this one up to your other cases with Judge Baxley. And so-
Mr. Lacy will be set on Judge Baxley's docket as well.
Mr. Lacy, you will no longer be in front of me, you'll be in front of Judge Baxley after today. So, Mr. Weeks, they tried to send you a letter saying you don't need to come twice, just wait and deal with all of it in front of Judge Baxley. But this is a driving while license suspended for not paying a ticket, not having insurance. You've had no priors. Do you have your license back?
No, ma'am.
All right, can you get it by next week?
By next week? Depends on the amount of
We're
tickets.
just going to continue this till next week and let Judge Baxley do what he wants, working out a package deal.
Just gonna keep it on next week.
Just leave it for next week. All right, no point in,
Okay.
so that way you can keep all your cases together. Okay,
That's
so
the one case he's coming to court for.
we're going to pretend he didn't come today and leave it on Judge Baxley's with his other case. He's already set for 6/11, right?
For that.
So, Your Honor, I sat here for 4 hours and I didn't have to.
If you want to plead today, we'll take care of it today. But if you came in with a valid driver's license, they'll probably change it to a civil, which would save you a couple of $100.
I wasn't aware of the amount of tickets that I have to pay to receive my license
You didn't
back.
have insurance and you didn't
I was on a
pay-
motorcycle.
Well, you have to have insurance on, your license was suspended for not
I
having.
wasn't aware of it was suspended at the time.
Okay, it's continued till next week. Goodbye. Okay. Sir, could you come on up to the microphone? You'll be first.
State your name.
Richard Yarts,
Richard
Y-A-R-T-Z.
Yarts. Is it here?
Yes.
Mr. Yarts. You are on probation for a DUI, and while you're on probation for a DUI, you get charged with a battery. I have a warrant for your arrest with no bond. State, do you have a recommendation on the battery?
No, Your Honor, I apologize.
I believe Ms. Castile is going to drop the charges on me. From what
Well, she can say she doesn't want to go forward, but it's up to the state to decide. I observed the victim's right cheek. It was swollen. She had a bite mark on her arm. There's plenty here to say you violated your probation. All right, I'm changing my mind on this. Mr. Yarts, I think her behavior was just as bad as yours.
Yes, ma'am.
Don't say anything. I think her behavior was just as bad as yours. I'm not thrilled with either one of you. But maybe it's not fair to send you to jail for this until we learn more about it. Probation is violated, but instead of saying no bond, I'm going to ROR you. Big difference between saying you can't get out of jail at all to you're going to go in, they're going to book you and release you immediately, and then we'll deal with this next month when we have more information.
We got a child together?
No victim contact.
Okay.
And are you able to afford an attorney, or do you need the public defender?
And I lost my job over this, so I'm going to need a public defender.
All right, I'll appoint the public defender. I'm giving you a very big break by changing it to no bond, from no bond to an ROR. Don't you dare violate anything else while you're out and about.
Thank you.
You're welcome, and we'll see.
I'm sorry, for the sake of the record, could the state just note its objection to the ROR?
Okay. I read the probable cause affidavit on the battery, and it says she's punching him in the car, and then they get to wherever they're going, and he bites her. Whatever. This is ridiculous, the behavior on both parts. So, anyway, that's why I did it. Have a seat. Oh, wait, no, you're going to jail, but you'll be released immediately.